Well, this week is the penultimate week of the story beaten season of the Splicer, and Savathun looks like she's closing a vice-like grip on the last city. Well, this week was all about whispers, politics, and the setting up of the finale next week, and today I'm going to run through all the major story beats of week 7. And if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, this week we start off the week as always by having a chat with Mithrax at the Splicer servitor. So let's check out and see what he had to say.
Guardian, I greet you in the light. Even if darkness hangs overhead, we were correct that an unseen hand was guiding the Vex. Quria, the dreaming mind, brought this endless night with it. It has been draining the energy from this city. We do not yet know why. Ikora and Osiris have thoughts, but the details do not change the truth. Quria must be stopped. But first, we must find it. I have reached into its domain, but the Vex forces break my sight. I believe I am close, but I must focus. You, Guardian, strike the Vex now, with great force, so that I may see Quria through your ripples. It may seek the destruction of your city, or of your vanguard, or something even greater may be at stake.
Well, Quria is siphoning the energy from the last city, and the worrying sentence here is it may seek the destruction of your city, or your vanguard, or something even greater may be at stake, and I wonder what that something even greater might be. Well, next we move on to the expunge mission, and once we finish up that latest corrupted expunge, Mithrax informs us that he's found a route to Quria. Let's check it out.
With this victory, the threads of night are further unraveled, and the weaver of this dark tapestry can no longer elude us. I have found a route to Quiria's hiding place. It is concealed behind numerous layers of defenses compiled by the Vex.
But now we have a target.
Something we can hit!
I would caution you against underestimating Quria.
Agreed. We must strike carefully, mitigate Quiria's ability to rally defenses. Then, punch through the network like a white-hot sword of praxic fire.
We can do this. Together. Together.
Well, really interesting stuff there, and everyone seems really enthusiastic about going on the offensive, except Osiris. Well, the lore page that opened up this week after the expunge mission is called Beneath the Endless Night 8, Gilded Knives, and it acts as a good primer for the next cutscene that we see with Saint 14 and Osiris. So we've got Beneath the Endless Night 8, Gilded Knives. They say the promenade of the core district never sleeps. In times of celebration, it was a parade ground meant to extol the virtues of the Guardians and show the people of the lost city their faces and often distant defenders. To see it empty was almost unheard of since the Red War. Executor Hideo of the new monarchy walked alongside Lakshmi II of the future war court, observing vendor stalls decorated in neon lights that flickered intermittently as they passed. But there were no vendors, no proprietors, and Hideo glanced over his shoulder at the 4 future War Corps security officers that followed behind at a respectful distance. "Do you remember the last time the street was empty?" he asked. "Yes," Lakshmi said with a heavy heart. "They called me a fool then as well," and she did nothing to hide the contempt in her voice. "We make mistakes in circles, Hideo, walking in a loop of our own self-made despair." Before he could formulate a response, Hideo spotted the reason for their walk through the endless night. A towering behemoth of chrome and lavender cloth, hunched over in an abandoned plaza. Saint 14 focused on the birds underfoot, scattered a handmade mix of seeds on the ground while he cooed contentedly at the pigeons. "You have chosen a poor night for a walk," he observed as Hideo and Lakshmi approached. "Do you need an escort back to the tower?" Hideo shook his head. No, Saint. We went to find you in the hangar, and Miss Holliday informed us that you had come here to, and he eyed the birds, contemplate. Birds are uncomplicated, good conversationalists. They give me room to think, Saint said with a smile in his voice. How can I help? The consensus has struggled as of late with some of the Vanguard's decisions regarding the city's security. We wanted to expand that conversation to include you, Lakshmi said. But not Arak Jalal, Saint asked, a more pointed and cunning response that either Hideo or Lakshmi anticipated. No, Hideo quickly confirmed. Lakshmi verbally manoeuvred around Hideo's answer like water around a stone. This is about ensuring the best interests of the city at the forefront of the Vanguard's mind. Saint fixed his helm visage on Lakshmi, the Elixni, a statement, not a question. The Vanguard are a military force, and the consensus does not doubt their commitment to defending the city beyond its borders, Lakshmi carefully worded her approach. But we have come to doubt that a military force is the best governance for the city inside of its walls. Saint squared his shoulders as if presented a challenge and looked between Hideo and Lakshmi. His stoicism twisted Hideo's stomach into knots. We'd like to propose a restructuring of the city's leadership, placing the Vanguard as authority for what goes on outside the walls. Hideo gestured towards the mountains, and respective leadership here inside the city, and he motioned to Saint. This is a bad plan, Saint said without any attempt at obfuscating his feelings. Surely you understand the tactical options in the field do not always apply unilaterally in a civilian quarter, Hideo pleaded. On top of that, the Vanguard is stretched far too thin. They cannot be the leadership they need to be. Saint balked. Then why come to me? I'm no politician. But you are a leader, Lakshmi countered as she placed a hand over her chest. A hero, a symbol to the people. Saint drew in a steady breath and grew silent. It may not feel like the right choice because of your personal feelings toward Commander Zavala and Ikora. Change can sometimes feel distasteful, but I know you aren't one to ignore your sense of duty. Saint looked down at his feet, at the birds, at the seed. I must speak with Osiris, he asserted. Lakshmi briefly regarded Hideo and nodded. Give your partner our regards. I will, Saint said stiffly, scattering the last of the seed in his hand to the birds before departing the plaza. Hideo and Lakshmi waited under the watchful eye of the traveller until Saint was gone. If he tells Zavala or Ikora, Hideo said through clenched teeth. Osiris will stop him from doing anything so stupid, Lakshmi said, and the softness in her voice gone. And if he is so short-sighted as to refuse us, as Saladin did, Hideo's stomach twisted again. Well, really interesting stuff there from the lore, as always. And politics are definitely at play, and you can almost hear Savathun pulling the strings from the sidelines. Well, next up, we're directed to the helm to observe a chat between Saint 14 and Osiris, so let's listen in.
Osiris, there is something I must discuss with you. Lakshmi, she came to me with a proposal.
You taking over as Titan Vanguard? She discussed it with me as well. Lakshmi has radical ideas, but they are only words. No cause for alarm.
Good, good. Only words, of course.
She wants what is best for the people of the city. And in truth, you would make an excellent leader.
I do not seek authority. Zavala may have a beautiful desk, but he is chained to it. We could use less bureaucracy, maybe. More proactive strategies, where we reclaim ground taken from humanity. An open council in the city to speak with the citizens. I have imagined a new vanguard, led by us.
Led by you. I would stay back and advise. I lack the temperament for leadership.
A fantasy only. I told Lakshmi I would think about it so she would go away. The words, tasted like treason in my mouth.
Let her believe you are considering it. If you refuse, I imagine she might approach Lord Saladin next. And after what happened with Kaito...
I understand. Later we will speak more of this.
It appears Lakshmi is speaking a bit too freely. I will report her behavior to Ikora, though I imagine she already knows. You should continue working with Lakshmi. Don't mention what you've heard. We must keep this as quiet as we can. With the endless night and the Elixni here, the city has become a powder keg. One errant spark and it could be the end of the Vanguard.
Saint 14 clearly sounds guilty even mentioning these words, but Osiris is playing it coy, complimenting Saint 14 on his leadership skills. At times, Saint 14 even sounds tempted, saying he's imagined a new Vanguard, led by us. And Osiris quickly retorts, led by you. I don't have the temperament for leadership. And Saint sounds like he's interested in dropping it all together, stating the words felt like treason in his mouth, but Osiris pushes to let Lakshmi think he is considering it. Well, Osiris once again acting really shifty this week. And the final chat is with Mithrax back at the Splicer servitor, and Mithrax has a warning for us all.
I feel Quiria's vile presence pulsing in the heart of their network. I feel a strong hand pull against the threads tied to everyone living in this city. This has gone on too long, Guardian. None can spend so long in the night. Death surrounds this place. The true death, which always starts from within. I have heard your people say it is darkest before the dawn. There is comfort in that, yes. But I fear this endless night will grow even more terrible before we see the sun again.
Well, things are being set up for what looks like to be an explosive ending to the story for the season next week. The stakes are high and they're getting higher as the weeks have gone by. Now the tower has been overcome with taken blights, and Savathun exerting her influence from the shadows. Much like Mithrax says, death surrounds this place, the true death, which always starts from within. Never a truer word said by the leader of House Light. So I'm looking forward to next week. Will we battle Quria in the final corrupted expunge? Or will Savathun reveal herself inside the last city? And what is going to happen to the Vanguard? Are they going to be overthrown? Which side will Saint 14 choose? And what's going to happen with the Elixni? It's going to be really interesting to see if Lakshmi's prediction has come to pass, with Mithrax standing in the smoke and rubble and the remains of the last city, and Ikora screaming for help over the comms. We are just going to have to wait and see. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of the latest story content in Week 7, plus let me know what you think is going to happen next week. Well, that is it for the Week 7 story recap in Season of the Splicer, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video.